All right. Hello and welcome back to Third and Long Podcast. I am your host, Mason Rooney, and I am in immense pain. As usual, I am joined by my co host, Cody Starin. Say hello, Cody.
What's going on, guys?
In this episode, we're going to talk about Thursday Night Football, as well as give our predictions for Week 5 of the NFL. So, without further ado, let's get into the source of my immense pain, also known as Thursday Night Football. Cody, did you watch all of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I just want to make sure because the first half, the Seahawks looked really good. At least defensively, they did. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened from the first to the second half that made the Seahawks defense just disappear. But they did disappear as well as my hopes and dreams for the Seahawks season.
Let Gino cook.
Let Gino cook. Yeah, Russell Wilson. The news came out yesterday that Russell Wilson is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So when that happened, the first thing I googled was to see if I could personally donate my middle finger to Russell. I don't think it's a legal process, but yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm not sure I could donate my finger to Russell. So it is confirmed
I
he's
don't know
going
if
to be
he
out
wants
six
to
to eight
think it.
weeks, and during that time, Cody, you may want to keep a watch on me and my mental health for that during that time.
Gino Smith looked really nice though, so maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I know. I texted you this. I think it was either yesterday or the day before on during the game. But if Gino is able to lead us to a positive record when Russ comes back, I'm 100% getting his jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And you guys will still be in the playoff hunt.
yeah, I just this is this is this is going to determine if Pete Carroll has a job next year.
Do you think Pete Carroll's on the hot seat like that?
Absolutely, his defense has been horrendous this year. The only reason he would not be on the hot seat is because he's basically the GM of the team, and I don't know if he would fire himself. That's the only reason. Even though he's not the GM, he basically has the most power in the organization since Paul Allen died. Rest in peace. But yeah, Pete Carroll holds the most power in the organization. But I feel like this is truly going to be. I I would hope he's on the hot seat because his defense has been horrendous this year. With all the star power they have on that team, they should not be this bad.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Speaking of the star power on this team, as you know, Cody, I will 100% always defend Jamal Adams, even when he does play like crap. But
I'm the same way with Kirk.
what?
I said I'm the same way with Kirk.
Yeah. But Thursday night, people will point at two plays that Jamal Adams is overrated, blitz boy, overpaid linebacker, etc., etc. But I'm just gonna look at back at that Djax play and say he was that was not his fault. 100% it was not his fault. He was playing catch up, and he did everything right on that play. His cornerback got cooked, which created so much separation, which is why Jamal had to play catch up. The ball was severely underthrown, and we were talking about before this, no safeties coach is going to teach their player to turn the wrong way. So it was not Jamal's fault. If that ball was uh, thrown back shoulder, that was I feel like Jamal could have picked that off.
Absolutely.
But since it was underthrown, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, he's overrated. Oh man, he could only blitz." That was good coverage, but it was a bad throw, which made it look like Jamal got cooked, even though it wasn't his man, and the cornerback is the one that got cooked. On to the second play, it was a touchdown play where Jamal was playing like I don't even know how far back. It was like 10 yards off or something.
Yeah.
But he Jamal was playing for the back shoulder fade, but he got hit with a quick out route, which like right at the goal line. So wasn't really much he could do. But in that regard, this defensive scheme the Seahawks have been running for the past 5 weeks has been absolute dog water. Like they need to change something on that team, on that defensive side of the ball, because out there it's just not working. Either like make personnel changes, make coaching changes, do something. Because without Russ, you're really going to be able. You're really going to have to rely on that defense even more now.
I think the Seahawks should have made a run at Stephon Gilmore. Honestly,
I imagine they would should have, or they. I imagine they were, but like I follow the Seahawks Instagram page and they're like talking about it. Like, yes, Seahawks probably were making calls, but
I
you
don't know.
kind of have to convince Stephon Gilmore to move from the East Coast, where he's never really left, to the West Coast to play. Specifically the Pacific Northwest, which is very isolated from the rest of the league. So,
Right.
and plus, yet if they were to have made a trade, they would have to take on a lot of that cap. So
Right.
things weren't really in their favor to make that trade. Granted, they probably could have given up something better than, was it a 6th round pick in like 2 years or something?
Well, the other thing is I don't know what their cap salary was, but I do know that for him to sign, it would have to be some kind of a long-term deal.
Yeah, I know Seahawks
So,
currently only have like 10 million cap. So
so I'm pretty sure that the Panthers are going to be working out a deal with Stephon Gilmore in the next
yeah,
couple
absolutely.
weeks.
So it was, things were not really in the favor of Seahawks being able to make a run at Stephon Gilmore. But with that being said, they need to make some moves by the trade deadline if they want to shore up this defense. Because they don't have their 1st round pick this year, and they're looking the season's looking very grim. They can't really afford to not be playing well this year.
The Jets are loving your guys' struggles right now.
I know. As I said, I'm in immense pain right now. I've been in immense
I
pain the
mean,
past 24 hours.
Jets are just loving it.
Yeah. On to positive news. DK is now Jalen's daddy, right?
No,
Okay. You don't
no,
think so?
no.
All right.
Jalen Ramsey has consistently locked him down, and once DK can consistently beat Jalen,
I mean,
I'll say sure.
I mean, I guess Jalen isn't DK's. Jalen isn't DK's father now, right? At the least,
No, we're still giving it to him.
we're still saying Jalen's DK's dad.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that, but I'd say they're no longer related. They are. Yeah. DK had a really good game on
He
Thursday,
did. He did.
but Jalen, I don't want to sound like I don't like Jalen, because I think he's still the best corner in the league and stuff. But besides that one play where he caused the interception, he didn't really have exactly a great game.
I don't think they necessarily threw at Jalen all that much though, so I think the sample size was rather small.
That's fair. But just want to finish out this depressing note by saying let Gino cook. He looked great. Oh, he looked good. He looked good for a backup QB in lieu of Russell Wilson coming in. I think he outperformed. I think he had better stats too. I could be wrong, but this next 6 to 8 weeks is going to really test the Seahawks' will and see if they are solely reliant on Russell Wilson or if they are able to win without Russ. Now let's get on to Sunday games. This week we have a London game featuring the Jets versus Atlanta. And news came out yesterday that Atlanta's going to be without Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage, which are their top 2 receivers. So, are we feeling a Pitts breakout game this week, Cody? Or are they just going to triple team him all game?
I sure hope so, because my fantasy lineup is kind of needing a little.
It needs a
After
little
I heard
Pitts
the news,
action.
yeah, I mean, I could go get Seki this week, but after hearing that, I think Pitt's
You'd
gonna
be
get a lot
kind
more
of
targets.
you kind of have to roll with Pitts this game, and just pray that Jets aren't able to cover him.
And the other thing is they got Cordero Patterson, who is just on fire right
Cordell
now.
Patterson is basically going to be the wide receiver one. I wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised if
he's
the
wide receiver
Lions
one, he's running back one, he's the offense right now, and
basically, and it's
it's
sad to
fun.
say that.
It's kind of fun to see though, because he's putting up huge numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, good on Cordell Patterson for basically reviving his career in Atlanta.
So it's not going to necessarily be triple teaming Kyle Pitts. It's going to be the Jets just trying to slow down Cordero Patterson in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, hopefully that leaves Pitts 1-on-1. But who do you have this game? This is not necessarily a very gonna be a very entertaining game. At least I would think. I'm definitely not gonna be up to watch this game because this stuff happens like at 6 o'clock my time. So
7 o'clock your time. I think it's 9 o'clock my time.
yeah, it's very early, very way earlier than I wake up. So
The wonderful thing for me personally is I'm up every day at like 8 o'clock anyways, and so it's finally something that can.
pass the time to the actual morning games.
Yeah, I finally got something I can watch until the noon kickoff for the Vikings, and it's just a wonderful thing.
All right, but who do you have winning this? Can Jets get it done with try to get back-to-back wins?
I think Atlanta's gonna get her done. I just don't think the Jets are. They were fired up last week. I don't think they can keep that up. That defense last week was just fired up. It was fun to watch, but I don't think they'll do that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's fair. We both have Atlanta winning this game very handedly, or at least I have them winning handedly.
I think it'll be a close game because Atlanta's not that great.
That's fair.
At the end of the day, Atlanta's really not that great.
Yeah. On to the actual morning games. We have the Jets versus, or not, we have New England versus Houston. In the notes here, I put who cares, Pats by a lot.
Yeah,
It's self-explanatory. Who cares about this game? Pats are going to dominate all aspects of this game.
Davis Mills isn't that guy.
No. My rookie of the year prediction is looking very bad right now.
And so is Davis Mills.
Yeah. Both my rookie of the year predictions are looking bad right now. Detroit, Minnesota. Minnesota really has been, to put it lightly, disappointing this season. Granted, they've been screwed over by the refs 3 times in all their losses. I will give you that. But
If you get
Detroit's always puts up a fight. So
to justify that, the loss against the Browns, when you have Tony Dungy trying to figure out what happened in the officiating crew, you know something.
yeah,
You know you got some explaining to do, and quite frankly, I didn't hear anything from the NFL, so that's kind of upsetting.
yeah. But I think despite all the disappointments and Detroit constantly fighting hard, I think Minnesota wins this game. I know you were gonna pick Minnesota regardless. So
I think it'll be Minnesota by about 40, just because
40.
just the Vikings haven't played that bad. I mean, even last week when they put up 7 points, that Browns defense is awesome.
Yeah, but I think the Lions have been fighting hard all year. That I think it'll be relatively close.
But it's still the Lions.
Yeah,
They don't play well in the division.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. We both have
Except
Minnesota
against the
winning,
Packers.
but who knows? I I still feel like it'll be relatively close. It'll be too close for comfort.
We'll see.
Philadelphia, Carolina. Philadelphia, Carolina. All right. Hurts. He's been having an up and down year, and Panthers have. They looked really good. They looked pretty good last week. I don't know if Gilmore's playing this week or not. I don't think
I
he
don't think
is.
so.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. But I think Carolina should win this game. It's home. Philadelphia has just been kind of up and down all year, and
They have the best. Carolina has the best defense in the league right now.
points wise, yes, and it got a lot better too. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Like we said, I don't know if Gilly is playing this week. If he is, it'll be a big win. If he's not, it'll be a slightly less big win. So
I don't think that Philadelphia's got the talent to beat Carolina right now,
Absolutely not.
Especially since McCaffrey's supposed to be back this week.
I
I
thought
think they were saying.
I think he's doubtful for this week.
Really, I thought he said that he felt pretty good about playing this week.
No, it says CMC doubtful Sunday, so it'll be another one more week without McCaffrey. But still, I think Carolina's too good to be losing to a team that still has lots of question marks all around.
Yep, that's fair.
New Orleans versus football team. Now this is the most polarizing game because I have my magic 8 ball here to determine which Jameis will we get. So before we start off talking about this game, and now let's talk about this game, then we'll give our predictions with magic 8 ball assistance. Jameis has been the epitome of a roller coaster. This man has been up and down a lot this year.
Yeah, no, it's Jameis is a flip of the coin is what kind of Jameis you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And I think this week will be good Jameis, and I think the football team and them will play a very solid game, and it'll be a close game down to the end. I think football team will edge them out.
You think football team's winning?
Yeah, I just think they got the better quarterback between the two.
You think Heineke's better than Jameis?
Yeah,
I'd say Heineke's more consistent than Jameis, but Jameis's highs are a lot better than Heineke's highs.
Well, he reminds me of a little bit like Tim Tebow. He just finds ways to win.
Yeah, that's fair. But the thing I want to talk about football team is their defense has just been, it was overhyped and has been disappointing.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot better this year than.
I had them in fantasy, and boy, I was thinking about dropping them last week, but with that kick return touchdown, they earned themselves one more week. They would have been gone if they didn't get that kick return touchdown last week. So, I don't. Hold on, let me. Will we be getting good Jameis this week? Cannot predict now. Will we be getting good Jameis this week? It is decidedly so. So we're getting a good Jameis this week. Saints by 10 points. Calling it here.
I think it'll be a 3-point game.
All right. But I still got Saints winning. You have football team winning?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Tennessee versus Jacksonville. This week, Urban Meyer was in the news. Not for anything good. But, yeah, that's just the best way to put it. He was in the news, but not for anything good.
I think Tennessee will just run all over them.
They should.
There's
no reason for Tennessee to not run, or for Derrick Henry to not run all over this Jacksonville defense.
And Jacksonville has not. They've been focused on more than just football this past week, and it's.
Yeah, they've had their shares of lap dances this week. At least Urban has. So that's definitely not a recipe for winning.
Right.
So Tennessee very easily.
Yeah.
Miami versus Tampa. This is similar to the New England Houston game. Who cares? Tampa by a lot.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Who cares?
The only thing that Miami has going for them is they play Tom Brady himself very well.
Yeah.
The entire time he was in New England, they would always seem to get one game.
They would usually be that one of the few teams that beats New England Tom. So that's the one thing they have going for them this game. I don't think it means much though.
No, it's one of those things where we'll see what Brian Flores writes up to play defense against Tom Brady.
Yeah. But yeah, who cares? Tampa by a lot. Green Bay versus Cincinnati. This should be a very good game. Like it might be. This feels like a game no one's really talking about, but it should be. People should be talking about. You have 2 3-1 teams going at each other. I saw Jair Alexander just got put on IR. I think is IR. So they're gonna be without their top corner for at least 3 weeks. But Green Bay's been playing pretty well, but since their Week 1 loss to New Orleans, so
yeah,
And Cincinnati's been playing really well too. So I
The other,
don't know who. I think this is a home game for Cincinnati.
the
So
other thing that gets me is how confident Joe Burrow is in himself.
yeah, I mean
I mean,
he has not looked like he had an ACL MCL complete knee obliteration injury.
and for a quarterback to have walk on the field and expect to score in every single play, that
Especially
speaks
in
huge.
his second year.
It
It's
speaks huge for a team, and that's why they're 3-1. I mean,
yeah,
he's
like Joe
making
Burrow
plays.
it just oozes confidence, and that's I
Yeah,
feel like that's the biggest thing with Cincinnati why they're doing so well. They have all the confidence in the world that they are the best team in the league. They might not be, but they have the confidence like they are, which is
absolutely.
great for a young team right now. That being said, who do you have winning?
I'm gonna go with Cincy.
Ooh, you too? I was thinking about going Cincy too. I just think uh, I feel like Cincy just has, like we said, the confidence that they are the best team in the league, even though they might not be. They act like they are. So I think that's going to carry them in this victory.
And the Packers is just so hurt.
Yeah, that's also another big factor.
I mean, they've been playing good this year without some of these key guys that they usually have, but they're just so hurt.
Yeah, I think Jair is going to the Jair injury is going to be severely felt, especially these next 3 weeks. So,
Absolutely.
Denver versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been extremely disappointing on offense. Big Ben is old, slow, and bad. Hopefully, this doesn't hurt his legacy. In Denver, they made news this week about Vic Fangio being a crybaby. So, I still think Denver is the better team all around. They have the better. I'd say their defenses are similar in some aspects, but Denver
Absolutely.
just has the significantly better offense that it doesn't matter what each defense brings. So I think Denver wins this game because Pittsburgh's not going to be able to do anything offensively against a pretty good Denver defense.
Little side note, real quick: Penn State needs to find a new quarterback ASAP.
Penn State. Who's their QB?
I don't know, but it was 4th and 4, and he opted to throw to the running back that was covered in the flat rather than hit the. I mean, two wide open receivers essentially coming across the middle of the field for 20 yards.
Was he getting pressured?
No,
Oh, okay.
that was the. I mean, he just straight up just didn't want to throw to him. But all right, back on track here. We got Denver, Pittsburgh. Denver's probably gonna run away with it, and Pittsburgh's inability to move the ball on offense will come back, bite them in the ass, and that'll be that. I mean, nothing about that. Unless Najee Harris puts up 500 yards,
Yeah.
that could also
Najee
happen.
Harris is essentially their offense right now.
Juju's not, like I said in my preseason predictions, Juju's not that guy. I mean, he's a good number 2 or 3 receiver, but he's not. He can't be that number one, and it's very clearly evident.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't really got a quarterback throwing him the ball that's really worth a shit.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh offense disappointing. Like I said last week, that was my biggest disappointment of the year. So on to the afternoon games. We have Chicago versus Vegas. Do you think Chicago's gonna be, or Matt Nagy's gonna be able to properly coach a game with Justin Fields at QB?
I mean, we can all hope, right?
Yeah. I mean, for Justin Fields' sake, we sure hope so.
As
So
a NFC North fan, I hope not.
yeah, but for the interest of Justin Fields and me hoping that he has a good long career, I hope Matt Nagy either coaches well or they get him out soon. One or the
Yeah,
other.
I mean, I just don't see how Nagy and Pace still have a job.
Yeah.
It's puzzling to me.
Yeah. Uh, also, the Raiders. What is their game plan following Monday night? Because they didn't usually their game plan like the first 4 weeks, no 3 weeks was force feed Waller. They didn't really do that on Monday.
No, they need to get back to that because
Yeah,
when Darren Waller,
they need to get back to force feeding Waller because that's worked out for them. They
that's when they play their best football.
Gruden has an obsession with trying to run the ball with a very not 100% Josh Jacobs. So
And honestly, it's keeping them from getting back to 100%.
yeah, like don't play like if Jacobs is fine, let him play, but keep him like on a snap count and force feed Waller. That's what worked out for
It's kind
you.
of
That's what got you to 3-0. So
it's kind of like Dalvin Cook last week. He only had 12 touches or 13 touches.
yeah, like it the best you if you want your best chance to win, you got to give the ball to your best player, and their best player is not Josh Jacobs, it's Darren Waller.
Absolutely.
So
And it's not like their backup running backs are playing horrendous.
no,
So I
they're
mean,
back up running. I felt like they did better with Jacobs out
right?
because he only played week 1, and
Yeah,
in week 2 and 3 it was like a mixture of Drake and Peyton Barber, and they did
yeah.
well.
Just get Jacobs back healthy.
Yeah, uh, just yeah, you want to make sure Jacobs is back healthy so you guys are able to make a playoff push. But I got Vegas winning.
I got Vegas as well.
All right. We have probably what is going to be one of the better games of the week: Cleveland versus the Chargers. I don't know if you probably saw the headline, but Baker has a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder. But
Did
thankfully,
you
it's his
see what Odell
non-throwing
said?
shoulder, and the Browns don't run their offense through Baker. So
Did you hear what Odell said?
I did not.
He said, "I've had a torn labrum for 10 years."
That explains
I
a
mean,
lot, actually.
that's wild if it's true, but at the
I
same
don't
time,
think it's
like,
true. There's no way in hell
I
that's
don't,
true.
I don't think so either.
But also, Odell's not playing quarterback. But
That's also true.
yeah. But the good thing for the Browns is their offense does not go through Baker. It goes through their running backs. So I expect a healthy dose of like 20 carries for both Hunt and Chubb, and only throwing if Baker throwing less than 15 times.
Because like last week against the Vikings, Baker couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah. But
And it was hard to watch. Odell should have had 2 touchdowns in that game, and he missed them on both times.
yeah. But on the other hand, we have one of the better quarterbacks in the game right now, and Justin Herbert, who's just been playing insane football the last at least 2 weeks. Pretty much all year he's been playing great. So
If Herbert can play, or if that defense can play half as good as they did against the Vikings last week, it'll be a defensive shootout.
yeah, but if Herbert's just able to play like he's been playing the last 2 weeks, this could get ugly for the Browns because they're gonna have to play catch up with a hurt QB. So
Absolutely.
who do you have winning?
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
All right, I'll go with the Chargers because I feel like Herbert's just going to be able to play significantly better against a very tough defense. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be one of the better games of the week. So we got quote unquote America's game of the week, the Giants versus Dallas, and last week Danny Dimes probably had his best game of his career.
Yeah.
And Dallas currently has, at least according to us, 3 award winners right now. So just a matter of will Dallas's defense be able to continue to show up, or is Danny Dimes going to roll for 2 straight weeks? I'm leaning more towards Dallas defense, if you could believe it.
Dallas defense. Trayvon Diggs will get another pick. I'm gonna call it right here, right now.
I'm calling 2 picks.
He's not gonna get 2. He's gonna get 1.
All right. But regardless, Danny Dimes is not gonna have 2 straight great games, and Dallas's defense is just gonna continue to roll with being led by Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. So, also something we forgot to talk about the Packers. They signed Jalen Smith, and I think he's playing this week.
Yeah, but he'll be I think he's in a very limited role, so I don't really think he'll play much of a factor.
All right, but
I think I think AJ Hawk said he'll be playing just a handful of downs,
just to get
and
acclimated
then
into the team.
next week it'll be full on.
They
You're in the system.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't want it makes sense for him not to be getting a whole lot of plays since he's literally what few days on the team as of now. So
He's not exactly a Richard Sherman that can just step in and start playing.
well, I'm pretty sure if the Tampa cornerbacks were healthy, I imagine Sherman wouldn't have played a whole lot, but he was kind of
Right.
forced to. But Dallas wins this game easily because I don't think Danny Dimes has two great games back to back.
Nope. Dak Prescott's playing out of his mind as well, so I think that'll play a factor.
Yeah. San Francisco versus Arizona. Trey Lance has got the start, and in the half he showed last week, he looked really good. Let me rephrase that. He looked good enough. His passing still needs some work, but the ability for him to move around is something that San Francisco offense feels like it needed in order for them to be productive.
I agree.
But
But I
is it
just
going to
think
be,
that
is Trey Lance's a debut going to be enough for them to overcome probably the best team in the league right now, Arizona?
I don't think so. I think you'll see a hell of a lot more. Kyler Murray running all over the place, slicing up defenses, and they'll probably win by, I'm going to say, 2 touchdowns.
I'll say it'll be a close game. I I think Trey Lance could keep the game close. I don't think he's going to win it, but I think this game is going to put him into second place for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So
Probably.
yeah,
Behind Mac Jones.
but behind Jamar Chase.
Uh, Apparently, the favorite right now for Rookie of the Year is Mac Jones.
Really? Hmm. But I would still put money on Jamar Chase. I feel like he's been the best offensive rookie all year. At least the most
It's a
consistent
quarterback
offensive
award at
rookie.
this point.
Yeah, it is a very much the quarterback's award. But yeah, I feel like Arizona walks away with this win, go up to 5-0, and yeah,
Yeah,
continue to be the best team in the league, and last team standing
absolutely.
for undefeated status.
Absolutely.
Sunday night, Buffalo versus KC. We have the two best QBs in the AFC right now going at each other, and Patty looked good last week when he finally got Tyreek Hill involved in this offense. So
My thing is the Chiefs are so reliant on their offense.
oh, absolutely. That's not
You're
that's not even a question. Of course, they're relying on their offense.
the Bills are gonna put up 50 on the Chiefs if they're not careful.
This is gonna. I feel like this is gonna be equivalent to that one. It was a Monday night game between Rams and Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean,
This feels like that. This is gonna be that type of game.
there's just nothing the Chiefs are gonna be able to do to stop that Bills team, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be
they're gonna need to at least get two stops if they want a chance to win. Because
absolutely.
but that even one stop is asking for a lot from this Chiefs defense right now because they are not playing well at all.
I think they're giving up on average like 35 points a game,
Yeah, but Seahawks defense is still worse, at least yards wise.
and they're
So
and they're gonna go back down to 2-3. It's gonna be
you think Buffalo's
just
winning?
yeah.
I'm gonna take KC. I think the offense is going to carry this team to victory, and I think KC's defense is going to do enough, just barely enough to get the win.
I got Buffalo going into Arrowhead and getting the dub.
All right, that's fair. I could totally see that happening too, but I think KC will barely beat Buffalo this week.
Especially since that Buffalo defense is just on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tremaine Edmonds just won DP of the Defensive Player of the Week, so good for him. On to Monday Night Football. We have Indy versus Baltimore. Do you think Indy's finally going to realize that they should be running their offense through Jonathan Taylor?
No.
All right, because I don't think so either. They're going to try to make Wentz this focal point of this offense, and
Wentz is a maniac.
yeah. So I think Baltimore wins this easily,
Yeah, I think they'll run for 200 yards.
easy. Uh, Speaking of the going back to that Vic Fangio. We talked about this briefly on the last episode. Vic Fangio, crybabiness. You think
Yeah,
we get any clapbacks from or just any snarky remarks by Harbaugh this week in general?
probably not. Probably not.
All right.
I think Harbaugh's already passed it looking into the next week, so.
Yeah, Harbaugh seems like that type of coach that will clap back once and that's it. So, yeah, I'm trying to look back at games we differed on. You took football team. I took New Orleans. We both took Cincy. We both took Denver. You took Cleveland. I took LA. And you took Buffalo. I took KC. So we differed on 3 games this week.
Yep.
Last week I dominated you in terms of predictions. Let's see if you're able to fare better this week.
Should be able to.
Yeah, you would hope, right?
Even my picks this week that differ from you aren't that crazy of picks.
I mean, feels this week is just so. Seems like very obvious that all the games this week seem very obvious who the winner is.
Right.
At least one upset, just out there upset.
And it could be the Jets beating Atlanta.
Yeah, it could be. But who knows? What if Pittsburgh just shows they are able to move the ball offensively all of a sudden and we're like, oh wow, where's this been all year? All these games seem too obvious that I feel like there's gonna be at least like 2 to 3 upsets that are gonna be like, well, okay, you know.
And then you got the Bills Chiefs. I mean, that's gonna be a barn burner.
Yeah, it should be a barn. It's gonna be a shootout, which people love. So, and that's about it for this week's episode of Third and Long. Again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to follow us on our socials above me, down here. Cody's pointing at his, and so on. Again, I am in mental anguish. I'm going to continue to be in mental anguish for the next month and a half to 2 months. And yeah, we will see you all next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.